Yvonne De Carlo was a Canadian-American actress, singer, and dancer who became a big star in Hollywood during the 1940s and 1950s. She starred in iconic movies and shows such as The Ten Commandments and The Munsters. But as she got success in her career, she started getting dealt a bad hand in her personal life, especially her relationships. She lost herself, lost her child, and eventually lost her life. Follow us along as we share with you the fascinating story of Yvonne De Carlo while we share with you some of her rare photos. Yvonne De Carlo was born Margaret Yvonne Middleton on September 1, 1922 in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. Everything looked fine with the family until her life took a sad turn when she was just 3 years old when her father left the family, and her mother had to take up waitressing in a restaurant to make ends meet. In an effort to secure her child's future, Yvonne's mother enrolled her in a local dance school and made sure she learned about acting. And luckily, Yvonne became a confident young girl who would often entertain the neighborhood with impromptu shows. Her mother was delighted to see what her child was turning into, and she became more enthusiastic about helping her daughter get her career started. So, in 1937, when Yvonne was 15, her mother took her to Hollywood hoping to find fame and fortune. However, things didn't go as planned as they had to return to Canada. But they didn't give up. In 1940, they made their way back to Hollywood. And before long, Yvonne found herself dancing in chorus lines at night while trying her luck in the studios during the day. And after a few uncredited roles in short films, fate smiled at her, and she finally landed a part in the feature film called Harvard, Here I Come in 1941 as a bathing beauty. She even sang a song called The Lamp of Memory in a 3-minute musical, which led to a 3-year contract with Paramount Pictures. She also appeared in The Deer Slayer in 1943. Although the role didn't make a big splash, it was still an improvement from her previous experiences. She continued playing small parts for the next 2 years, and then something amazing happened that led her to a breakthrough. Yvonne De Carlo had been under contract to Paramount Pictures and had been shortlisted for important roles without actually being given them. But fate smiled at her in 1944 when Walter Wagner, in collaboration with Universal Pictures, was set to shoot the movie Salome, where she danced. Ava Gardner was slated to play the leading role in the movie, but MGM decided not to release her at the last minute. As luck would have it, Yvonne was in the waiting room of the set, and the art director, Culleton, just picked her up to test her as Ava Gardner's replacement. And the rest, they say, is history. She suddenly became a star, and Universal signed her to a 5-year contract. Things were finally looking up. From that point on, Yvonne consistently picked up lead roles and enjoyed ongoing success. She even made history as the first American film star to visit Israel. Her remarkable talent shone through the movies like Hotel Sahara in 1951, The Captain's Paradise in 1953, and Happy Ever After in 1954, gaining her further recognition as an actress. It was truly a breakthrough for Yvonne, and her career was on fire. Then love came knocking, or to put it better, it came crashing down her doors, leaving her devastated with no chance of recovery. Back in 1943, when she was working with Paramount Pictures, she met her first major love interest, Billy Wilder. He was a famous director known for making classical films like Double Indemnity, Sunset Boulevard, and Some Like It Hot. Interestingly, he wasn't exactly what Yvonne had pictured as a dream man. But despite the differences, she fell head over heels for him, captivated by his endless charm and wit. They had a romantic relationship while he was separated from his wife and living in a rented house. Unfortunately, their love story didn't last long, as he eventually left Yvonne for actress Doris Dowling. She was devastated, but didn't allow that to cloud her judgment when she crossed paths with Howard Hughes, a billionaire businessman, aviator, and film producer who had dated many Hollywood starlets. Hughes pursued Yvonne for several years, even offering to buy her a house. However, she declined his advances, finding him to be a very strange man with a lot of problems. She was probably avoiding another heartbreak. But she later opened her heart to her co-star and fellow Universal contract player, Howard Duff, in 1947. Their relationship seemed like that was heading towards something more. Unfortunately, it didn't, and they eventually separated due to his struggles with alcoholism. Love had its ups and downs for Yvonne, but her most painful one yet would be the one she had with Jock Mahoney, a stuntman who worked on one of her films, The Girl Who Took the West. Things seemed to be going well, and they even got engaged. But unfortunately, a heartbreaking turn of events occurred. Yvonne discovered that she was pregnant, which should have been good news, right? However, her joy quickly turned to frustration when she learned that she had a large ovarian cyst. It was a devastating blow. Yvonne had no choice but to undergo surgery to remove the tumor. Sadly, the surgery resulted in the loss of her baby. It was an incredibly difficult time for her, dealing with both physical and emotional pain. And as if that wasn't enough, Jock Mahoney started seeing another woman, actress Margaret Field. This betrayal marked the end of the relationship. At this point, Yvonne was tired of love and simply needed time to heal from all the heartbreak she had endured. But love just kept coming, and in 1956, Yvonne's wish came through when she landed what could be considered the most significant film role of her career. She played the character Sephora, the wife of Moses in the epic biblical movie The Ten Commandments. It was a big break for her, and as a cherry on top, she found herself falling in love with a stuntman named Bob Morgan on the set of the movie. Morgan already had a daughter from a previous marriage, but that didn't bother Yvonne at all. In fact, she embraced her role as a stepmother and raised Morgan's daughter as her own. The couple went on to have 2 sons together, Bruce and Michael. It was a match made in heaven, and their love story was truly something special. Despite Yvonne De Carlo's role in the Ten Commandments propelling her career forward, her subsequent film, Band of Angels in 1957, didn't achieve commercial success and received a lukewarm response. It was a setback for her, so she had no choice but to take a step back and return to the B-movies and old westerns she had started with. However, during this time, Yvonne began exploring opportunities in television, taking on small roles in popular shows like That Valley Days, Buck's Law, and Bonanza. And then things took a turn for the worse. In 1962, her husband, Bob Morgan, suffered a terrible accident while performing a stunt in the film How the West Was Won. He lost his left leg in the incident, leaving him permanently disabled. Yvonne faced a challenging situation, and to help cover her husband's substantial medical bills, she appeared in various nightclub acts. It was a sad and difficult time for her. In response to the accident, Yvonne and Morgan filed a $1.4 million lawsuit against the studio after MGM denied any responsibility for the incident. Life had thrown unexpected obstacles their way, but Yvonne remained resilient, finding ways to support her family and navigate through difficult times. But that wasn't enough to save the relationship. Morgan was so badly hurt that it took him 5 years to recover, to the point where he was unable to move by himself and walk unaided. Their marriage was strained by Morgan's constant arguing. Finally, when she returned home after a New Zealand tour of No No Nanette, she filed for divorce on the grounds of irreconcilable differences in July 1973. After her divorce, film opportunities became scarce, and she found herself facing financial difficulties and mounting debt. It was during these challenging times that her old employer, Universal Pictures, reached out to her with an interesting offer. They were looking for a leading lady for a sitcom about a quirky Munster family living in the suburbs. Without hesitation, Yvonne De Carlo signed the contract, hoping for a fresh start. That sitcom turned out to be The Munsters, a show that blended humor and spooky elements. Surprisingly, it only lasted for 2 seasons. Universal Pictures tried to keep the momentum going with a movie spin-off called Munster Go Home in 1966. However, despite the anticipation, the movie failed to achieve commercial success. Coming to terms with the fact that her acting career was coming to an end, she took some time to shift her focus towards her musical pursuits and continued with it until 1995 when she unofficially retired from acting. 3 years later, she experienced a minor stroke, and almost 10 years later, on January 8, 2007, she passed away due to heart failure. Yvonne's career spanned a wide range of film, musical and television roles, creating a rich and diverse tapestry. She will always be fondly remembered as the lovable matriarch of the Munster family. Her legacy lives on, and though she may be gone, her impact and memorable performances will continue to be cherished by fans worldwide.
If you enjoyed this video, there's a good chance you'll also enjoy the one showing on your screen right now. Click, enjoy, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. See you on the next one.